Hello, fabulous superstar Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. Powerful energies with us right out of the gate. There is a party that is brewing, that is strong in a part of the sky for you that has to do with profound change and truth and transformation, rebirth, regeneration. It has to do with power, your understanding of it, how you wield it, and it has to do with wealth, in particular, being able to access resources from, for example, financial institutions like banks. You can see that this is a part of the sky that has a lot of depth, but also a lot of nuance as well. And you will likely be engaged in this journey of uncovering the depth, the nuance at this time. And you're at the beginning of a 1 year journey, and boy, does it start out strong. It was late last month that Jupiter moved into this deeply transformative part of the sky for you. And now, as we start this month, over the 3rd and 4th of this month, we are going to have Jupiter speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. We are also going to have Mercury in the mix as well, meeting Jupiter, speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. Now, these energies do kick in on the 2nd of the month if you're in the Americas, but most of the world will experience these energies over the course of the 3rd and the 4th. Big, powerful, rare, supremely harmonious alignments. In particular, it's that Jupiter-Plutonian energy that has this larger 1 year transit of Jupiter in this part of the sky for you, kicking off strong. It is Pluto that is at the foundation of your chart, having to do with your past and your living situation and your family of origin. So you can see here, this can suggest interactions with your family of origin, your parents in particular, where that applies, that feel transformative, that feel empowering. There could be wealth that comes about related to either your living situation or your connection with people that goes back a really, really long way. This might also be a time when you're transforming your relationship with the past itself in a way that strengthens you today. Now, turning your home into a space of prosperity might be part of the energy of this moment. And so figuring out how it is, whether it's a home-based business, working with homes, or maybe the sale of a home or property ends up being part of what helps you to cultivate meaningful change and wealth at this time. Now, this is a super energy in the context of how much power it gives you at your fingertips. And so if it is that you know you're trying to attract funding, you do want to tap into the energy of the first days of this month. Make the most of it, because you've got all this cosmic support for moving towards greater wealth. Now, that could be emotional or spiritual, but most certainly could be financial as well. On the 6th of the month, we're going to have a new moon in this part of the sky, and that brings with it new opportunities, new understandings, and it just adds that much more energy and impetus to this sense of what's possible. Now, this new moon is hand in hand with Venus, tightly in the sky with Venus. So there is this sense of blessing available to you, but it is also speaking in a conversation of tension with Saturn. And Saturn is continuing to move through a heart-oriented part of the sky. It has to do with fun and what you really want. And so it could be at this time that you are trying to figure out how to attract funding so that you can do more of what you really want to do, maybe turn a passion into an entrepreneurial endeavor. Or maybe it's so that you can really do something special for a child in your life, for example. Regardless, you will find a way forward here that does invite you to consider what you're wanting in your heart of hearts, what really matters, and how it is that you can align your relationship with resources differently so that you stay in tune with what it is that truly matters to you in your heart of hearts. The 22nd of the month brings this month's full moon, and this full moon is taking place in a communicative part of your sky, having to do with communication, perception, synchronicity. It also has to do with your siblings, cousins, and neighbors. Now, this full moon is across the sky from Mercury and Venus, but it's speaking in supreme harmony with Mars, and Mars will be in your opposite sign at that point. And so it's that connection with Mars that I find especially intriguing, because it's about having key conversations one-on-one with other people that fill you with enthusiasm, that fill you with energy at this time. Now, given that where this full moon is taking place, siblings, cousins, and neighbors are covered here. And so it could be that there are developments taking place in these people's lives. What you can actually do about any of that might feel a little restricted or limited, or it might be related to what's happening with them in love, for example. However, given the positive, enthusiastic energy of Mars, I can't help but think whatever's happening, you feel good about, even if it has something directly to do with you or not. Another thing I want you to keep in mind, this is a full moon taking place at the very beginning of this part of the sky. And as much as full moons bring conclusions and culminations, the fact that it's happening at the very beginning means that with these conclusions come fresh chapters and new potential. Next month, we are going to have the rare phenomenon of an astrological blue moon. And that occurs when we have two full moons back to back in the same part of the sky. So you're going to get another full moon here, but that one next month is going to be at the very end of its respective sign. That suggests that whatever it is that happens now, as much as you think there's conclusions and culminations, they're actually beginnings. A more complete picture, a more deeper emotional truth around what's taking place becomes a lot more clear to you next month. And I'll be here to talk about it every step of the way. On the 29th of the month, we are going to have Saturn going retrograde, and Saturn continues to move through a heart-oriented part of the sky, having to do with what you want in your heart of hearts in every area of life. And whether it's a creative project, whether it's a matter having to do with children you want or children you have, there's a need for honest evaluation, a need to be honest with yourself about what sacrifices have been made, what sacrifices have been worth it, maybe what are no longer worth it. This part of the sky has to do with happiness and joy and fun. And Saturn slowly moving through this part of the sky invites you to get honest with yourself, serious about moving towards a genuine and lasting contentment. Saturn standing still, going retro, is going to get you very honest about where it is that perhaps you've accepted a facsimile, if you will. You've told yourself something's going to make you happy, and so you've pursued it or you've aligned with it, and you realize that maybe that's not what you're really going for. It could be at this time that you've been really trying to make something happen with a creative project in your life. Maybe it's with sharing it, having it have impact, or the act of creating itself might come into focus, and you get to look at what you've already given and where now you can refine your pathway forward, and if this project is the one to continue moving forward with or not. Where it comes to matters of love, a couple of big energies here. I think that this Saturnian move, retrograde, is going to be huge, because what you want in your heart of hearts includes romance, flirtation. And so you getting honest about that is going to come into view. But we've got another layer of what's happening here, and that is related to Mars moving into your opposite sign on the 9th of the month. And Mars will be there for a month and a half. And this tends to bring with it a lot of energy poured in a particular direction, usually towards someone else. For those of you open to meeting someone new, Mars in your opposite sign is going to invite you to be bolder, to be braver, more courageous in connecting with others. There's certainly going to be motivation there on your part to do so. But for all that, it is Saturn going retrograde that's going to invite you to look at what love is for you, what you're really going for in a real way as part of figuring out the next best steps for you. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, Mars in your opposite sign is going to invite you to pour that much more energy, that much more time towards this person to figure out whether or not there could be something here. If there could be something here, it might accelerate with Mars moving into your opposite sign. However, Saturn changing directions is a big turning point moment. It is a big moment of truth. Is there something here? Does this feel like love or not? You're about to get very honest with yourself about how you really feel and who this person really is as part of figuring out whether or not there is that genuine connection. If there isn't, that isn't going to work for you. And for those of you in an established bond, well, Mars moving into your opposite sign does bring with it motivation to spend more time with this person that you love. The overwhelming majority are just going to find themselves wanting to be more present, doing things that feel enlivening, that feel thrilling together. A very small percentage of Scorpios, if you felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, if you have found it frustrating in some way, Mars now is going to invite you to do the work, to heal the relationship, or is going to invite you to consider what going a different way might be for you. If there are things that aren't good, Mars could be an aggravating principle. But if the relationship is good, it is Mars that brings a spirit of motivation and enlivenment to be present for each other that much more. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say I love the energy of Jupiter late last month moving into a part of the sky that your sign has a natural correspondence with, a natural affinity for. And this is a part of the sky that has to do with profound truth and transformation and regeneration. You're about to get to some more important truths of how you really feel, who you really are, and what you're really wanting. More bold in your desire to pursue healthy transformations, but also there's a redefinition of wealth in your life that is in the works. Now, however you understand wealth, you're making some power move to experience more of it right out of the gate as we begin this month on a powerful moment as part of this larger Jupiter transit. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded, exclusive video scopes. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.